Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Political Ray. We've got some stories for you. Got a lot to go through this morning. We're gonna kind of rapid fire some of these, just because I'm limited on time. But there's a lot to get through. Um, and just in case y'all didn't know, this is my 100th episode. So hey, hit the like button, share it with everybody you know. Um, I've done this 100 times now, and pretty excited about that. But yeah, that's besides the point. But look, I'm just saying, I'm excited to be here. I'm happy to be doing this, even if just 5 people watch me at a time. I enjoy doing it, and I'm glad that some people get some enjoyment out of it. So we'll go ahead and get into this real quick. But you're gonna see a theme a little bit today, and that theme is pretty much accountability. So everything going on within the political sphere of today's politics, and there's hardly any accountability for anything anyone says or does. Actions have consequences, but not for Democrats or even Republicans for that matter. There's no accountability. For instance, when the the when Al Green was censured, went and it passed, and when he was brought down, he said when Speaker Mike Johnson told him to come down to the well for censure, it was blocked by a bunch of Democrats who started singing, and then Mike Johnson just slammed the gavel and said, they're in recess. Why not tell a sergeant at arms to go get the Capitol Police and have every single one of them arrested for impeding hearings and Senate hearings, House hearings, whatever, Congress. There's got to be accountability. There's none. There's no accountability, and until there is, these people are just going to keep doing the same stuff because there is no accountability. They can do whatever they want and get away with it because nobody's holding anybody responsible. It goes for both sides, Republicans and Democrats. There's no accountability, and there needs to be. Plain and simple. Anyway, um, so let me show you all this. This is okay. Let me hold on. Let me change my little screen here because I hadn't done it yet. So, no, I don't want it. I don't. So this one, this is crazy. Um, a judge. There's a bunch of stories about judges coming out and saying that Republicans need to do this and that. Um, this is wild. I mean, okay, so you got this one. This is from Nick's Order on X. He's a good journalist, and he there's a lot of stuff that he uncovers. I like the guy. Judge Tanya Chutkan has now ordered the doxing of DOGE employees, even after the death threats received by Elon Musk and his personnel, as well as the terror attacks on his Tesla showrooms. This is insane. Yes, the leftists are trying to terrify DOGE and its employees into submission. This is nuts. A judge is actively saying that we need to, you know, dox people who work within DOGE to try and scare them out of doing their job, the job of cutting, taxpayer, um, taxpayer money that's going to insane programs and being funneled in all kinds of other stuff. But this judge wants to say we're going to dox these people, and it's a fear tactic. They want these people to be afraid so that they won't do their job. This is insane, especially like Nick says here, after the fact that you've got Tesla showrooms that have been shot up. There was one guy who was throwing Molotov cocktails into a showroom. I mean, there's bullets flying. There's vandalism. People spray painting swastikas on Teslas. And I seen the other day that Timcast brought it up. I was watching Timcast IRL, and they were asking when is this going to happen to people just driving down the road in a Tesla? Yes, it already happened. In New York, there was a guy who was he was beating on the I don't know if it was a Tesla, truck or if it was just a car. I don't know that part. But it was a family in a Tesla driving down the road in New York. Some crazy left-wing person came up and was, slamming on the car, trying to get into the car. They drove off, and thankfully nothing happened. but it's already happening to people just driving down the road that are in a Tesla, because the left and their rhetoric, it's the same thing when President Trump had the assassination attempt on his life when he was campaigning in Butler, Pennsylvania. The rhetoric that they're spewing out, saying that Elon's a Nazi and he's hurting America and blah blah blah. The rhetoric that these people spit out is insane, and I don't think that they should be doing this. And then for this judge to come out and say we're going to dox these people, why does this judge say this? Because there's no accountability. They know that they can say whatever they want and get away with it. Will the doxing actually come to fruition? I don't know. I don't think so. I hope not. This is stupid and it shouldn't happen. But anyway, there's another judge, and this is crazy. I'm telling you, these people are nuts. Anyway, a federal judge has just ordered Pete Hegseth to retract a post about disqualifying transgender troops from service. This same Biden judge, Anna Reyes, also said the idea of two sexes is not biologically correct. Yes, it is. Being an educated person, being a judge, you should know that. But they do know that. They're just spewing left-wing talking points. And for somebody to come out, a judge to come out and order for this guy to retract a statement that he put out, I don't know if it was X. I don't know. Probably X, but I'm just saying. Why do they do these? Because there's no accountability. There's none. These people say whatever they want and they get away with it because there's no accountability. Anyway, another judge. I'm telling you, this is crazy. Okay. Breaking, a judge has just ordered the Trump administration to hire tens of thousands of federal workers immediately, to rehire. So all the people that these probationary hires and everything else that the Trump administration and DOGE has let go to cut federal waste and wasteful spending, this judge took it upon himself to say, you need to rehire. These ordering. No, it's not, as far as I understand it, a judge cannot tell the head of the executive branch to rehire people. He does not have that authority. But why do they do it? Because there's no accountability. Again, they can say whatever they want and they get away with it. It's just, I mean, until people are going to start being held accountable for what they say and what they do, nothing is going to change. You'll still see the same crap over and over again because they know that nothing's going to come of it. They can say and do whatever they want. Anyway, this is crazy. Let's take a look at this next one. Okay. This is from the Post Millennial, and we'll take a look at this. This is the Post Millennial talking about the judge ordering to rehire federal workers. This is insane. Excuse me. Anyway, a federal judge has ruled that thousands of probationary federal employees who were fired early in the Donald Trump's administration must be reinstated. You've got no ruling over this. None. U.S. Judge William Alsup called the firings a sham and accused the Office of Personnel Management of unlawfully bypassing federal workforce reduction laws. His ruling orders the Defense, Treasury, Energy, Interior, Agricultural, and Veterans Affairs departments to immediately offer the employees their jobs back. Alsup, a Clinton appointee based in San Francisco, slammed the Justice Department handling of the case, accusing Trump administration lawyers of withholding key details. You will not bring the people in here to be cross-examined. You're afraid to do so because you know cross-examinations would reveal the truth, Alsup told a DOJ attorney in court. The mass terminations were originally justified as performance-related, but Alsup dismissed that claim, calling it a gimmick. This is the thing. Again, accountability. If And I see if because I don't know the ins and outs. I don't know exactly why these people were fired. They say it was, you know, performance based. I don't know that. I don't know that for sure. But if they were fired if they had just cause to be let go, and again, this is not a winning issue. A majority of people are still in favor of DOGE cutting wasteful spending and minimizing and cutting down the size of the federal government. I'm one of them. I'm okay with, minimizing federal government. I want a small government. I don't want a large government. And, you know, if that means laying a few people off, yeah, I understand people need jobs, but there was no outrage when tens of thousands of people were laid off during when Biden came out, and one of the first things he did was cut off the Keystone XL pipeline. All those pipeline workers, no outcry, no outrage, nothing, because it was a Democrat that was in office and not a Republican. It's the same thing with the shutdown that's looming tonight. You know, Chuck Schumer has come out and said that he's actually going to vote yes now. That flipped pretty quickly. But you know, it's different for when, because all these Democrats, if when Biden was in office and there was a shutdown that was looming, they didn't want to get a shutdown because there was a Democrat in office. They didn't want that on the Democrats. So they were fighting tooth and nail, still blaming Republicans, that if the shutdown happened, it would be because of Republicans. And now that a Republican is in the White House, they flip it and say it's okay to have a shutdown because it's not going to be on them. Since a Republican's in the White House, they're okay with a shutdown. But yet they still blame Republicans if there is a shutdown. So it's their playbook. It doesn't matter what happens. They blame Republicans. That's what they do, and they lie. Anyway, let's see, where was I? It is a sad day when our government would fire some good employee and say it was based on performance, when they know good and well that's a lie, he said. Allsop's ruling forces agencies to offer reinstatement, but made clear that legal reductions in force could still take place if done properly. Federal agencies are currently finalizing such plans. The lawsuit was filed by federal employees unions and nonprofit groups, which argued the firings harmed national parks, veterans, hospitals, and other public services. The decision follows a separate civil service board ruling that reinstated 5,000 USDA workers for 45 days. However, Allsop's order is the most sweeping legal action yet against the Trump administration effort to downsize the federal workforce. During the hearing, Allsop said that Trump's attempts to remove members of federal oversight boards could hinder workers' ability to challenge terminations. He had ordered OPM's acting head, Charles Ezell, to testify, but DOJ attorneys refused to make him available. Guy's probably busy. They're cutting down the government. They're probably busy. Anyway, you're not helping me get at the truth. You're giving me press releases, sham documents, Allsop said, reportedly visibly frustrated. Look, like I said, accountability. Like I said, they're going to keep doing whatever they want to do because there's no accountability. Moving on, we're going to move on to Chuck Schumer here, who quickly transitioned. He said it was just yesterday morning, I said that he was not in favor of voting yes for the continuing resolution bill, which, keep in mind, I said it yesterday, this is the same bill that they passed when Biden was in office. It's the same bill. There's a couple small tweaks, nothing major. Actually increases Medicare funding by a lot. But they don't want to pass it because they want the Republicans to look like the bad ones. They want the Republicans to be the bad guys. That's the whole reason behind them not wanting to sign this, because it's the same bill that they signed when Biden was in office. It was okay to sign it when Biden was in office, but now it's not okay because President Trump's in office. Doesn't make any sense. I know. But like I said, accountability. They're going to do whatever they want because they know they can get away with it. There's no repercussions, no consequences. They just do whatever they want willy-nilly. Anyway, take a look at this. This is what old Chuck Schumer said about he's flopped now and said that he's going to go ahead and vote yes.
I believe it is my job to make the best choice for the country to minimize the harms to the American people. Therefore, I will vote to keep the government open and not shut it down. There is nobody in the world, nobody, who wants to shut the government down more than Donald Trump and more than Elon Musk. We should not give it to them.
Look, he said he's going to keep it open, but he's still going to take his jabs. He's still going to throw out these lies about what he thinks is going on. They're lies. He knows they're lies. He can say that all he wants. He can lie to the American people all he wants. Why? Because he knows there's no consequences.
And make no mistake, Democrats will continue to fight what Donald Trump is doing. Everything that Trump, Musk, and Republicans have done so far has a clear goal. Again, cutting taxes for billionaires, eviscerate Social Security, Medicare and Medicaid.
Lie.
This is the fight that matters most.
Look, I just said it. What, 2 minutes ago? You can go. Look into it yourself. The bill is basically the same thing that they passed last year when President Biden was in office. It's the same bill. You can go, it's appropriations.house.gov. You can go look at it yourself. It's the same one with an increase to Medicare, which he just said that they were going to cut. It's the same bill that actually increases money going to Medicare. And Medicaid is not mentioned anywhere. It's not even in there. Everything the guy says is a lie. Let's keep going.
And the fight we must focus on. All the chaos we have seen, all the lawlessness, all the grift.
All the lawlessness that we've seen from your side of the aisle because of the rhetoric that you guys spew out and people believe. And then they go and vandalize and terrorize Tesla dealerships. It's because of your rhetoric and the lies that you spew out to the American people. Because there's no accountability. Again.
And corrupt behavior. It's all about rigging the system in favor of the ultra-wealthy at the expense of working Americans.
That's another lie.
This is the fight the American people need to see. This is the fight that Democrats will win. A shutdown will be a costly distraction from this all-important fight. I yield the floor.
The guy is grandstanding. Look, and I don't know what happened. From the way I understand it, he had a meeting with President Trump. Don't know what was said. Nobody said anything about it. But there's all kinds of rumors flying around about, what Trump might have said to him in that office. Maybe Trump's got something on him to where he, flipped on his vote and now he's going to vote yes. We don't know. But he's going to come out here and he's going to grandstand and tell you all kinds of lies about why he's voting yes, and that he says we still need to fight, and a shutdown would take away from the important fight that needs to be publicized, and blah 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 blah. There's no accountability for these people and their lies that they spew. That's just the gist of it. Now AOC and the squad and other Democrats are just irate about the fact that Schumer came out and said that he was going to actually go ahead, and he flopped and said that he's going to go ahead and vote yes on this continuing resolution. They are not happy. There's been calls from the Democrat Party for AOC to actually primary Chuck Schumer for his seat. I don't think that would go over very well. That's just my opinion. Maybe she'd get it. I don't know. I don't think she would, though. But hey, she can do her. Anyway, this is AOC talking about Schumer and the fact that he flopped on his from voting no to yes on the continuing resolution. So we'll take a look at what she says here, and y'all can let me know. I don't see her. I don't see her going anywhere outside of her district. I just don't think she has the support. It's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't think that she's as popular as everyone thinks she is. That's just my opinion, though. We'll take a look at what she says here.
That Senator Schumer has kind of made is, the CR is bad, but a shutdown is worse. So how do you respond to that point?
That is, I cannot understate, I cannot underscore enough how incorrect that is. Because what this does, what voting for this CR does, is that it codifies the chaos and the reckless cuts that Elon Musk has been pursuing. The robbing of our federal government in order to finance tax cuts for billionaires is what is happening, and that is what Senate Democrats will be empowering if they vote for the CR.
Look, again, say it again. You can go look at it yourself. It's the same bill. Everything she said is a lie. Again, no accountability because they can just spew whatever they want and they know there's no repercussions for it. So they can just do whatever they want and get away with it. Accountability, there is none. Not within the government for either side. I'll say that again. Republicans, Democrats, independents, however, whatever you want to say. There's no accountability at all. That needs to change. Because until it does, they're just going to keep doing whatever they want because they get away with it. Anyway, Tom Homan, he come on to Fox News. He's becoming a regular guest, looks like. But he's saying, the whole AOC thing, her coming out and, helping out illegals on how to evade ICE, don't come to the door. She held that little online conference, whatever you want to call it, but she actually didn't show up to it. It was just I don't know. I don't know if it was just a blank screen. I just know she didn't actually show up for the little online conference, whatever it was. But Tom Homan was actually, he come out and said, look, there needs to be accountability. She needs to be held responsible for what she's doing. It is not legal to aid and assist an illegal immigrant on how to avoid being caught and deported. That's it. Anyway, this is what Tom Homan said on Fox News about he wants people to go after her. He can't, but other people can. Check it out.
That up to DOJ. What I find disturbing is that any member of Congress wants to educate people how they evade law enforcement. You can claim you're educating those constitutional rights. Okay, you can keep that claim. But what she in fact is doing is telling people don't open your door, hide in your home, don't talk to ICE. We're talking about people who are in the country illegally, committed a crime, they're a public safety threat, they've been convicted of serious crime, and they've been ordered removed by a federal judge. So it's like AOC and others don't want ICE to enforce the laws that they enacted. She's a member of Congress. Let us enforce the laws you enacted. That's what we're supposed to do.
He's not wrong. They broke the law. For one, they're here illegally. They broke the law when they crossed that border and came into the country illegally. For two, it's people he's going after that have done further crimes. Whether it be heinous, whether it just be shoplifting, I don't care. I don't. I'm beyond the pale of, oh, well, they're just trying to survive. I'm past it. You can have somebody, if you're defending keeping people in this country. Look, just yesterday I saw an article about a federal judge it was the TDR, Trans Nicaragua, whatever it's called, that Venezuelan gang. They let them go. They had them in prison, and the judge let them out of prison to keep them from getting caught by ICE and getting deported. These are gang members. They're not good people. And if you're supporting keeping them in this country, you're evil. That's all there is to it. I don't care. You're an evil person for keeping these types of people, wanting to keep these types of people within the United States. You're an evil person. That's it. I don't care.
You can't go after her. Do you think others should?
Yes.
No, I think I've asked DOJ, where's that line of impediment, of interference? Now, if someone stands in your way, prevents you from arresting somebody, put your hands on you, that's impediment. But what line is telling people to hide from ICE, not open the door? Where do you cross that line on impediment? So I've simply asked the Department of Justice, give us that line.
You have talked to them about this. That's what you're saying?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Okay, look. AOC. No, I don't. I can sit here and talk and complain about it all I want. But he's got a good point. Where does it become, aiding and abetting, as it were? Where's the line? He said it right there. Where's the line? In my opinion, I think she's crossed it. That I think that qualifies as aiding and abetting. That's just what I think. I don't know if I'm right, but it's my opinion that, look, even if you don't have to send this person to jail, AOC doesn't need to go to jail. Give her a fine. Give her a fine. Tell her not to do it again. If she does it again, increase the fine. She does it again after that, 3 strikes and you're out. After that, maybe she can spend, 10 days in jail or something, I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a criminal, lawyer. I'm not within the government. I don't know how that all works exactly, but I have to, believe that in some way you could give her some kind of fine or something just to tell her, look, you cannot be doing this kind of stuff. That's all I want. Even if they just censure her, but even that wouldn't do anything, because then, other Democrats would go down into the well and start singing, and it wouldn't happen because Michael Johnson would just bang the gavel and say they're in recess, and then nothing ever comes of it. It's the same thing with Al Green. They just do whatever they want because there's no consequences. Consequences have actions, but not for these people. It's ridiculous. It needs to change, because until it does, again, like I said, they're just going to keep doing whatever they want because there's no consequences to their actions. Republicans and Democrats alike. They just, anyway. Jasmine Crockett, she came out, and this is from the Post Millennial, but Jasmine Crockett came out, and she was, Jasmine Crockett argues shutting down government will prevent federal job cuts. If we're shut down, you can't be fired. I don't think it's true. I've looked into this, okay? Now, Jasmine Crockett came out and said she doesn't care if the government gets shut down, especially since if it does get shut down, she doesn't think that people can be fired. I don't think that's the case. I looked, I Googled a couple other different search engines. I looked into it. I couldn't find anything saying specifically that people still couldn't be fired if the government's in shutdown. If anything, I think it would make it a little easier. That's just me. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not. I don't know. But I would imagine if the government's shut down, nobody's actually going. I think it would make it easier. Not only just to fire people, let them go, make the cuts within the government that you want to make, to cut out the wasteful spending. But you can have DOGE go into these agencies and not have any resistance because nobody's at work. Am I wrong? You can let me know. Maybe I am. Let me know if I am. Anyway, Representative Jasmine Crockett argued that to shut down the government on Thursday, as the government funding vote in the Senate is set to take place, citing that the federal workers will not get fired from their jobs as one of the reasons to shut it down. Again, I don't think that's right. Again, I'll say, I would imagine it would make it easier. That's just what I think, though. In a video posted on her TikTok, Crockett said, if the government shuts down, then one of my questions is, are they allowed to still fire people? I think yes. Anyway, let's take a look at the little video here.
In my opinion, if we're shut down, you can't be fired. And what does that mean? It does mean that people will not be paid, but it does mean that they will get their back pay. So hopefully we can stop some of the bleeding.
They're only going to get their back pay if they're still hired on when the government resumes. That's how that works. And yeah, if they're fired during the shutdown, they'll get pay up until the day that they got let go. But if you get let go, you're not going to get the back pay. So just like I said, just up to the day that you got let go. But I don't think she's right. I don't think that that's correct. I think that, again, I think it would just be easier for them to be let go. But that's just what I think.
We just saw that the Department of Education laid off 50% of their workforce.
Good.
So I don't really understand why anybody would say, oh, we got to take the high road. Listen, he is decimating the federal government, and you're talking about whether or not we're going to keep the doors open. He literally is shutting down departments anyway.
Good. I said it yesterday. I talked about the DOE yesterday. It's a failed experiment. It needs to go away. Send it back to the states. Enact school choice. I know the Democrat states won't do that, but school choice. Incentivize these schools to be better. Why not try it? The DOE obviously has been a failure. Why not get rid of it and try something else? It's an honest question. How much money is too much money going to this failed experiment? The Department of Education. How much money is too much money? $2+ trillion? That's not too much money? How much money is too much money? Honest question. You can let me know. How much taxpayer dollars is too much being funneled into a program? I think well over $2 trillion is plenty enough, and it hasn't showed any positive results. It's been a failure. Get rid of it and try something else. Why not? Why not? Anyway, I digress. In my opinion, if we were shut down, you can't be. Yeah, this is what she said. The lawmaker said that the Senate Democrats should vote in order to stop the funding bill from going through on Senate vote, which is expected to take place before the Friday deadline when the government will shut down. Voting against the package would then likely guarantee a government shutdown. Crockett continued saying that Trump is decimating the federal government, and you're not going to know whether or not we're going to keep the doors open, she added. He literally is shutting down departments anyway. That's what we voted for. Yes. Good. I want smaller government, less wasteful spending of my taxpayer dollar. That's what I want. She later called on her followers to contact their senators and tell them to vote against the funding resolution. So what I need y'all to do is I need y'all calling the Democrats, because I know Republicans don't do what Republicans do, but I need y'all following those Democrats and saying, listen, there's no reason for you to act. Yes, there is. Anyway, I said it. Look, I said it yesterday. I don't care if the government shuts down. It's not going to affect me. I feel bad for people that it would affect, but if at this point, all the rhetoric and all the grandstanding and everything, if the government shuts down, I don't care. I don't. That's just how I feel about it. People who are receiving, disability for VA benefits, that's going to suck for them. I feel bad for them. I don't care. I let it shut down. Anyway. Lawmakers later rallied against the spending cuts in the budget bill, which would lower non-defense spending by around $13 billion, but increase defense spending by $6 billion. Again, okay, like I said, look at the bill yourself, and y'all can tell me what you think, because I don't. Like I said, it's basically the same spending bill that they had in place when Biden was in office, and all the Democrats were okay with signing it then. They were all good because it was Biden that was in office and not Donald Trump. So it's a different story when there's a Republican in power. And either way, even if the government shuts down or if it doesn't, they blame Republicans for anything and everything. It's just the way that they do. They can't give Trump a win on anything, nothing. Anyway, so y'all remember I covered a little bit before on the Columbia riots, and that's what they were. It was not a protest; it was riots. So the guy, Muhammad, I don't know how you say it. I don't care. Anyway, he's been deported. He's gone, and rightfully so. The guy, he's a terrorist, plain and simple. And I don't care if saying that word gets me. I don't care if that word gets me, thrown off of YouTube for the video. I don't care. That's what he is. I'm not gonna sugarcoat what he is. That's what he is. So anyway, Caroline Leavitt was asked about it during a press conference, and she had this to say. Let's take a look.
The last question here on Muhammad Khalil. Does the administration believe that it needs to charge a green card holder with a crime to be eligible for deportation?
That's what he did.
In fact, Secretary Rubio.
Look, this guy had flyers that he was handing out that had Death to America on them. The guy is a terrorist. This is what they do. And the fact that he was here on a visa, on a student visa, getting an $80,000 a year education on the taxpayer's dime. And now they're going to complain about him being deported because he instigated a riot and a hostile takeover of the library at Columbia University. And they want to say that this isn't right, we shouldn't be doing this. These people are evil. They're actively defending a guy who does not he hates America. Even though he came here and lived off the taxpayer dime at $80,000 a year. That's just for the tuition. But he hates America. He got deported back to the country that he says is fantastic. So he can live there. If it's so great where he's from, he can live there. He hates America. He shouldn't be in America. That's it. Plain and simple.
Reserves the right to revoke the visa of Muhammad Khalil, and I'm glad you brought this up. Under the Immigration and Nationality Act, the Secretary of State has the right to revoke a green card or a visa for individuals who serve or are adversarial to the foreign policy and national security interests of the United States of America. And Muhammad Khalil was an individual who was given the privilege of coming to this country to study at one of our nation's finest universities and colleges. And he took advantage of that opportunity, of that privilege, by siding with terrorists, Hamas terrorists who have killed innocent men, women, and children. This is an individual who organized group protests that not only disrupted college campus classes and harassed Jewish American students and made them feel unsafe on their own college campus, but also distributed pro-Hamas propaganda.
There you go. Look, he shouldn't be here. He hates America. Let him go back to his country. Done. That's what they did. I'm fine with it. I'm good with it.
Flyers with the logo of Hamas. That is what the behavior and activity that this individual engaged in. And I have those flyers on my desk. They were provided to me by the Department of Homeland Security. I thought about bringing them into this briefing room to share with all of you, but I didn't think it was worth the dignity of this room to bring that pro-Hamas propaganda. But
she should have. I'll say that right now. She should have. She should have brought those flyers in and showed that entire press pool saying, look, this is the guy that you're defending. This is the guy that you say that we shouldn't have deported. He does not like America. He wants America to fall. This is the guy you're defending. He should be deported. He should be sent back. That's it.
That's what this individual distributed on the campus of Columbia University, and this administration is not going to tolerate individuals having the privilege of studying in our country and then siding with pro-terrorist organizations that have killed Americans. We have a zero tolerance policy for siding with terrorists, period.
Good. Done. End of discussion. That's it. There's no reason, none. There's no reason at all for this person to still be in America. None. I mean, the only thing that I don't agree with as far as this goes is the fact that we didn't do anything to try and recoup that. Look, that's $80,000 a year in taxpayer dollars just for the tuition. Just for the tuition. There's no way we're going to recoup that money. None. And that doesn't even, the books, the housing that this guy got, it's gone. There's no way to recoup that. But hey, the guy should have been deported. I'm all for it. I have no sympathy for anybody who's defending this guy. None. If you're defending this guy who actively wants to see America fall, handing out flyers that says death to America, you can look it up. There's videos all over the place about it. I don't care about the little speech he gave. I don't. The guy deserved to be deported and should never come back. Done. Anyway. Let's see. That's all I got for today. Again, like I said, This is my 100th episode. I appreciate y'all hanging out. If you do like what you saw, hit the like button, share it with all your friends, put it up on other social platforms. And I appreciate you hanging out. You can follow me on Rumble. Rumble's the place to be. But if you want to subscribe on YouTube, you can do that too. Excuse me. I just don't think that they keep a lot of my stuff up. But maybe they do. I don't have a very big following, so they probably don't take down a lot of stuff. They don't probably pay that much attention to me. But anyway, you can also follow me on X at The Political Ray. Again, I appreciate you hanging out. Y'all have a good day, and God bless.